How do you feel today about the Republicans' chance in the midterms? And if the Republicans were not to hold control of Congress, how does that change your strategy as president?
Well, they'll find a reason to impeach me, even though a lot of people said I had the greatest first term in the history of it. They'll try and impeach me, probably. But, see, we don't play that game. We don't play like them. They play dirty. They have bad policy. You know, if they had normal policy, they'd be a lot tougher, frankly. But when they have men and women's sports, transgender mutilization of your children for everyone, open borders so that the world can pour into our country, criminals. We took in 25 million people over the Biden 4 years, and 11,888 were murderers, most of whom, substantially more than 50%, committed more than one murder. Welcome to America. We took in drug dealers and people from mental institutions that would close up. They would empty entire mental institutions into our country. They would take a mental institution in a South American country, open it up, bring these people into our country, let them go, close the institution in whatever country it may be in, save a fortune. And Biden allowed this to happen. Now we have the strongest borders we've ever had. We have, as you know, for 11 months, they say nobody has come into our country illegally. You know why nobody tries? Nobody makes the trip up. The trip is not worthwhile because they know they're not going to get through. So once they know that, they don't make the trip. But we're running a great country. We're respected by everybody now. Again, we weren't respected. We were a laughingstock for 4 years. We were a very, very unsafe place. You know, murders are down now to the lowest in 125 years, the year 1900. But we were a country that was a dead country, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. It's pretty amazing what we've done in a short time.
As straightforward as securing the border seemed to be once you got into office, it almost implies that another president could reverse it as quickly. Is there any way to protect against that in the future?
Yeah, vote Republican. It's very simple.
On Venezuela and voter fraud, there are Venezuelan engineer whistleblowers who have provided your administration, my understanding is, with a lot of information and documentation alleging vote rigging in the U.S. elections, including in 2020, through an operation engineered in part by our foreign adversaries and centered in Venezuela. Are you familiar with this information, and is anything going to come of that?
Yeah, a little bit. And, well, I'm familiar with voter fraud because we have a lot of it, I believe, coming up on the 2020 election. The 2020 election was rigged. You know, when I used to say that, they'd say, oh, the cameras would turn off. How can you say? Now they don't turn. The information, a lot of it's already out there. The election was rigged. It was rigged. You look at Georgia, you look at Pennsylvania, you look at these states, they were rigged. It was a rigged election. And they used COVID to do it, and they used crooked, dirty cops to do it. You know, they had dirty cops. Like you read about Comey. Comey's a dirty cop, bad guy, bad for the country, bad guy. But no, the 2020 election was rigged. Anytime you have mail-in voting, you're going to have a rigged election. Anytime you're not using voter ID, the Democrats don't want, they're fighting us on the Save America Act. Anytime you don't have, when somebody says we don't want voter identification, that means they want to cheat. Then they say we don't want citizenship. We don't want proof of citizenship. They don't want it to be a part of the voting process. And yet, when it comes to voting, the interesting thing is 97% of the Republicans want voter ID. But if you add the Republicans and the Democrats together, 86% want. Jimmy Carter, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of him as a president, but Jimmy Carter had a committee that was set up, and along with Scoop Jackson, some very respected people. And the primary finding of the committee on the election stuff, primary finding of the committee was you can't have mail-in voting, it's crooked.
What's the latest with Cuba, and are there talks underway now?
Well, it's a failed country. It has been for years. And we'll take care of one before we take care of the other. But no, it's a failed country, Cuba, and people are living poorly. It's a bad experiment.
Are you or is someone from the administration communicating with
Well,
anybody?
Marco Rubio is doing it. His parents came from Cuba. And if we can help out, good. We have a lot of people, 94% of whom voted for me from Cuba. I did great with the Hispanic vote anyway. But Cuba, Venezuela, they all voted for me. You know, Venezuela is a very happy country right now. They were miserable. Now they're happy. It's being well run. The oil that's coming out is enormous, the biggest in many years. And the big oil companies are going in with the biggest, most beautiful rigs you've ever seen, and people are working. And Venezuela is a happy country. Everyone tells me they're so proud of what happened in Venezuela, and they're doing a good job. So we have a lot of interesting things that we've done and that we're doing.
You'll soon be heading to China.
Yeah.
How's your relationship with China's leaders, and do you have a top goal in mind?
My relationship is very good with President Xi. I don't know the other leaders, but President Xi is a good man, smart man, loves China. And I look forward to being there. We did this once before, and it was amazing. It's going to be I think it's going to be an amazing trip.
There's a woman named Katie Talento, if I'm saying her name correctly, who recently stated that in 2017 she worked for you, and her job was to keep Bobby Kennedy as far from the West Wing as possible after you had agreed to a vaccine safety commission. Did you know about that? She's published on that the last couple of days. She says she's apologizing for that, basically. Did you know that at the time, that there was somebody supposedly tasked with keeping Bobby Kennedy away?
No, I didn't. He's doing a good job. I think Bobby, people love him. I didn't know about that.
Do you think there should be a vaccine safety commission?
A commission on what?
Vaccine safety, something to examine,
No.
something like
Look,
he
I
proposed
believe
back
in
then.
vaccines, but I don't believe that, you have to have a mandate for all of them. The polio vaccine's amazing. It's, wiped it out. And I believe in vaccines, but, I think we were up to 88 vaccines. And I really feel that vaccines, if they were given in smaller quantities, they want to cut some out, and that's good too. And I agree with that. 82 is too many. If you look at Denmark and other countries, you have 12, 14, I think 17. And we have like 82. But I look at these beautiful little babies, and they get a vat, so like a big glass of stuff pumped into their bodies. And I think it's a very negative thing to do. And I would like to see it. I'm not doing this in terms of Bobby or not. I hope they agree with that, but that's just my opinion. I would love to see much smaller shots, like 4 visits to the doctor. And I think you would have a much better result with the autism.
More with President Trump when we continue.